So, I've just gone and seen this new Super Mario Bros. Movie. As a fan of the series, I was going to enjoy it to some degree, but did it meet my expectations? I think they might have actually surpassed them. Before watching this movie, I did have some worries going into it. Because of how wild my imagination can get sometimes, I was seeing it how I think the movie would pan out and how some characters were going to be portrayed with certain stereotypes. And seeing the movie critic reviews of giving mixed reviews, that certainly didn't help. But if this movie has taught me something, movie critics know nothing. Take it from someone who's grown up with Super Mario all his life and still plays the games to this day. This movie is a delight to watch. From beginning to end, I was completely captivated. I should probably talk about the voice cast first, since that was probably one of the most concerning things about the movie. I didn't have any concerns, to tell you the truth, not even with Chris Pratt as Mario. In actual fact, I think I really liked Chris Pratt's performance as Mario. I think he did a really good job, which I don't think a lot of people give him credit for. I wasn't expecting a Charles Martinet performance throughout the entire movie, but he did an impression at the very beginning, and I thought he was very convincing. Job well done, Chris Pratt. I think he did an amazing job there. I'm not going to talk too much about Jack Black as Bowser because my opinion about him is pretty much the same as everyone else's. I don't think there's anything differently I can say that will add to that, but I'm on board with what everyone says about him. If there's one thing I will say about his performance, when he gets angry, when Bowser gets angry, he literally goes for it, man. Oh, it gave me chills. Everyone else is pretty solid. Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach was fascinating. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad was a lot better than I expected. I thought his voice was going to be annoying, but it wasn't. It was actually delightful. Charlie Day as Luigi, love it. Absolutely brilliant. I don't really like the direction they took with Donkey Kong, but Seth Rogen did a really good job in making him enjoyable to watch. One thing I was keeping my ear out throughout the entirety of the movie was the music. In case you're wondering, the Super Mario Bros. Theme, the main one, is definitely in this movie. I've heard that main themes don't usually get put in movies or video games for that matter nowadays, but just in case you're curious, it is definitely in there. It's played multiple times, even if it's snippets here and there. There's other callbacks to other Mario games as well, like Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Odyssey. There's tons of references from Mario games, which if you listen closely, you can hear them. There's even music tracks from Mario Kart and even the Donkey Kong series, like Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong 64. The plot is nothing special, but the expectations aren't high to begin with. For a video game movie like this, what you see on the screen and how the characters react is what you're after, and this movie delivers it spectacularly. The movie is sprinkled with Mario and Donkey Kong references left, right and centre, but not to an obnoxious degree. The Mushroom Kingdom and the other kingdoms are colourful and vibrant, and I love the compact look of Brooklyn too. While the style is completely different, it still feels like it belongs in the movie. If I'm honest, I thought about how the story would play out. I thought it was going to be by the numbers. I thought it was going to be a case of they go to the Kong's kingdom, they ask for help to defeat Bowser, and then they fight it out on the Rainbow Road like you see in the trailers. But to my surprise, it didn't really play out that way. The trailers had me fooled and thinking like Princess Peach was going to be this perfect. Was going to be perfect from the get-go, and she didn't need help from the first place, not even from Mario, because of how well she tackled that training course. But the movie reminds us just how much of a threat Bowser and his minions can be, and by the time it gets to the third act, he pretty much gets what he's after, and they do it without going through this whole third act breakout that a lot of movies go through nowadays, which was pretty refreshing. There were a couple of things I wasn't on board with. I initially thought the Mario Kart tie-in felt a little forced. I still think it does, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The fact that it's not there for very long, and the way they worked it into the movie, I thought it was pretty clever. But I felt they had to chuck it in there because, well, Mario Kart was popular. For a movie called Super Mario Bros., Luigi isn't in it very much, which is a bit disappointing. I'm surprised I'm saying this, but if there's one thing the live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie got right, was making sure the Mario Bros. Had the right amount of screen time. Even when they did split up, it wasn't for very long, and they did something worthwhile. to move the story. Here, when Luigi gets captured by Bowser's minions and gets locked up, he doesn't really try to escape. I feel if Princess Peach was in that scenario, she would make an attempt, even if it ended up in failure. If there's one thing this movie it really isn't good at, it's comedy. The screening I went to, they had others in the audience, and I wasn't hearing any much laughter, even from the kids. There was a chuckle here and there, but it was mostly due to visual gags. Any joke that was said was either not funny or it fell flat. They shoehorned the princess in another castle line, and they tried to make it as a joke, and I was literally in the theatre thinking, did they really just do that? Then there was some that just missed the beat. Like, one toad asks, "What is that?" And pointing at Mario, and Peter's like, "Oh, nothing special." And I was just thinking, really? Is that the best the writers can think of? Those were pretty much my problems with the movie, but everything else in it was so good, it kind of cancels it out. I think it goes without saying, I really love this movie. I know I'm not saying much, considering I'm a huge Mario fan myself, but I think people who know Mario well enough, or fell out of it, they'll get a good kick out of this movie, I think. I should probably mention that there was a scene that actually resonated with me, which I wasn't expecting. I don't know whether to count this as a spoiler or not, because it doesn't really move the story along, but I guess it covers details that weren't in the trailer, so I might as well just give a quick spoiler warning here, just in case. So it happens at the beginning of the movie. The Mario Bros get their first job as plumbers. They do a fine job with it, but their client's pet dog comes in and ruins it and completely trashes the place. They go home and to their family, and yes, they have a family in this movie, and they give them a bit of a hard time for becoming plumbers and spending all their money on an advert that they make. And their dad criticises them for leaving a steady job to chase some crazy dream. Mario goes to his bedroom to play a video game of a very interesting choice, by the way, and Luigi comes in and comforts him. Mario then goes on to say that he's been told his whole life he can't do this and he can't do that, and he's tired of feeling so small. That scene in particular really touched me because I'm going through something similar. I left a steady job I didn't like and decided to do something close to what I wish to do, and I feel I'm not getting many results. But as Mario shows throughout the movie, he doesn't know how to quit, and he ends up going on his adventure, and it eventually pays off for him. I did not expect to find a scene that actually spoke to me on a personal level, and to come from a movie based on a video game series that I've grown up with, and to come from a character that I've idolised since I was a kid, that special touch makes me love this movie even more, and inspires me to keep on pushing and not lose hope. What more can I say? I fell in love with this movie. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. The fight scenes were brilliant. The voice acting is fantastic. The visuals are stunning. It's just bursting with content. And if you stick around to after the credits, you may find a little teaser. For a movie that's an hour and 30 minutes long, it certainly felt longer than that, and that's a good thing. Any Super Mario fan is definitely going to get a kick out of this movie, but if you're the average moviegoer who knows what Super Mario is, I highly recommend you go see this movie. Ignore what the stuck-up movie critics have got to say about it. Go decide for yourself whether you're going to enjoy this movie or not. It's nothing special by any means, but it is definitely worth your time.